Hey guys, Eric with Verus Engineering, and we are back out at Putnam Park on this beautiful spring day. We are going to be testing some 992 GT3 aero parts today on Dan's 992 GT3. We have Dan Clark, who is a professional race car driver. He's currently competing in Carrera Cup and used to compete in IndyCar as well as other series. And then we have a local track day goer who is pretty advanced as far as I'm concerned, and his name is also Dan. So we will be referring to them as Dan Squared. So we will be working with Dan Squared today on testing the factory aero setup. As far as the factory setup goes, we have the rear wing in full downforce mode, and then those front diffusers are fully unblocked, so full front downforce. If Dan Clark decides to change that aero balance, we'll let you know. But for right now, we're going to keep that aero balance and see what kind of lap times we do with the stock car. Then we're going to start throwing Verus parts on it and see what that does to lap times. Let's get to it.
Okay, so we just finished a day here at Putnam Park, and we have the 992 GT3 today. We had the Verus front splitter, radiator gurney, dive planes, and rear wing. As usual, we did a stock run, and the GT3's got some pretty good downforce already. Obviously, it's an amazing car, a lot of fun, and we were able to back-to-back test with the Verus aero kit pieces on. We were over a second faster with the Verus upgrades, and that's over stock wing as well, which is nice. And I can say from the driving point of view, what's typical for a GT3 for me is obviously immense performance and handling, but there's a distinction for me between GT3 and RS, and that's when you're on a track and you're braking late and trail braking in. The GT3 obviously definitely doesn't do that as well as the RS, and the RS I think just has better platform control for transitioning those inputs. And one thing that was nice with the Verus upgrades was it really kind of calmed that down. And over a whole lap, I would say high speed turns, medium speed turns, and even the slow speed turn we have, which is turn 7, I felt an improvement in front grip. But generally over the whole lap, I felt just more stability. You know, if you're driving in track mode, you still have some ESC, and so you still have intervention whenever there's some sliding. And so in track mode, you notice in stock aero trim that there's some intervention and individual braking, wheel braking on the way into corners, a little bit at the apex as well, right before gas. And with the Verus upgrades, it cut that down probably at least 50%, if not more. So it just kind of calmed everything down. I guess it's kind of like proof that it, you know, gave the car a lot more grip. The car didn't have to intervene. So that was really nice, and I'd say the improvement from a driving point of view is just overall stability, less events, less things to fix, which is very typical whenever downforce is increased. So a second a lap at least is a pretty happy improvement, very nice. Bolt straight onto a GT3.